in a small fortified city underground at a depth of more than 1,000 meters. For continuous weeks in the main operations room, Chinese President Xi Jinping sat with senior leaders of the People's Liberation Army, the largest army in the world, to oversee the execution of a long awaited military operation anticipated by most countries in the world, the invasion of Taiwan. After 3 weeks of intense exchanges between American and Chinese forces, and after severe losses for the American Army, including the loss of 2 aircraft carriers and more than 200 advanced fighter jets and thousands of soldiers and officers, the American leadership, in a state of shock, decided to launch nuclear strikes with limited tactical warheads on Chinese military and political targets in Taiwan and in some Chinese cities. Of course, China did not remain silent and responded with a nuclear attack on some of the most important American military assets in the Pacific Ocean, and more importantly, on some cities and states on the West Coast. These attacks resulted in the deaths of tens of millions of Chinese and American civilians. After several more weeks of fighting, the American leadership decided to enter into ceasefire negotiations and withdrew its forces in exchange for China retaining Taiwan. What I just told you is not a fictional story, but a scenario in a war game organized by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, which is one of the most important American research centers. They conduct war games regularly and published the details and results in a lengthy report at the end of last year, December 2024. The teams representing China and America played the game in the 2024 version 15 times. So why the repetition? Because each time there are new decisions, and the teams representing China and America learn from the previous times. Out of these 15 times, China initially struck American forces with nuclear weapons 7 times. In all these instances, both teams were very focused on answering 2 fundamental questions. What factors could create the greatest pressure, leading America and China to use nuclear weapons during the Taiwan War? And what will happen if nuclear weapons are used? I don't want to talk much about the details of the game, which has some scenarios with notes due to the natural bias present in any entity. What I really want to talk about is the nuclear weapons used by the team representing China to strike America. Look, folks. In short, China currently has the fastest growing and one of the most advanced nuclear arsenals in the world. This arsenal has increased significantly, reaching currently 600 nuclear warheads. According to the latest reports from the US Department of Defense, the Pentagon expects it to reach 1,500 warheads within 10 years from now, by 2035. In addition, China is developing weapons of all types and sizes to carry these warheads, apart from the storage facilities, test sites, and others. Today we are here to understand the details of the Chinese nuclear arsenal, how China built it, when, how much it spent on it, and why it is developing it at such a rapid pace, threatening American and Russian nuclear superiority. Why is America particularly terrified of this path? In today's episode, we will try to understand together and chat about the answers to these questions